Michael Jordan is the greatest player to ever touch a basketball.
Michael shakes the finger, but he finally got his dunk.
But what if I told you his son might be even greater than him? Ha! Not these guys. This guy.
Edwards! The explosion to the rim!
Now you might be thinking, MJ and Anthony Edwards aren't related, and to that I say, the basketball court is the only DNA test we need. From the dominance to the play style, right down to the mentality, it would be hard trying to come up with a reason why they aren't related. They may not share the same name or virtually anything else that makes people related, but what they do share is what we're gonna be talking about in this video. So grab your Lucky Charms and let's eat some hoops for breakfast.
Only had one shot attempt in that first half. Another turnover for Utah. Edwards gets it back.
Goes to it. They do it defensively.
Mike up ahead. Neesmith blocks.
Mercer on the run. Oh!
Need I say more? But if you want to get specific, let me break it down for you. It's already established that no young player can ever be as dominant as MJ was during his early years. But Anthony Edwards is one of the very few that comes close to this dominance. Not many young players can take total control of the court like Ant-Man can.
With Benbury, both go down. 5 on 3.
Driving.
Edwards trying to get back, and he does.
And if the dunks don't convince you, let's check out the stats. At just 22 years old, Anthony Edwards is the 12th highest scorer in the NBA and has the 19th highest points per game by a 22-year-old in NBA history at 25.9 points per game. That's just 3 points shy of MJ's 28.7. And if we want to get even more technical, let's talk about an important stat called usage rate. If you don't know, usage rate is basically how much a player ends their team's possessions. It kind of helps in knowing who is the baddest man on a team. And Ant's usage rate this season is by far the highest on the T-Wolves at 32.2%. This means about a third of the team's possessions end with Ant-Man, and most of those possessions turn into buckets.
Look at the moves by Edwards. Swashbuckling!
Into the paint to Edwards. Wheels 3 times, fires, fills it.
Look at the moves by Edwards. Swashbuckling!
Let me remind you, this man is just 22 and is already the go-to option for a third-seed championship caliber team who 3 years prior went 23-49. And relative to other guys his age, he's the best. Ant is at number 2 on ESPN's top 25 players under 25 and number 1 on USA Today's 23 best NBA players under 23 years old. The fact is, all similar rankings usually put Ant-Man at 1 through 3. All of this is just a fancy way of saying this man rules the court and gets hoops, which was MJ's whole thing. So we know that Ant-Man gets buckets just like his daddy MJ, but how does he get buckets? Like I said, like Mike.
Edwards on top. He'll put up a 3.
And no, it's not because he's a shooting guard. I mean, Klay Thompson is a shooting guard and he averages like 1 dunk every 2 years. It's more than the position, it's the essence of their game. Both are ridiculously athletic, both got springs loaded in their shoes, both can get any bucket they want and are dogs on defense. But the biggest similarity in their game is how unstoppable they are when they decide to get hoops. It's like eating breakfast for them. Whether it's making you dance like you're in the club, putting you on skates with their insane speed to the rim, or putting nuts in your face with the most disrespectful and embarrassing poster dunk, when they want buckets, they get buckets.
Now takes it right side, cuts back left down the wall.
Especially in transition.
Although Ant believes he has an edge,
maybe got a mix of Michael Jordan in him, but I got a tray ball. I can shoot the three, so I think that makes me a little different than Michael Jordan.
But there's only one thing he definitely doesn't have an edge over on MJ, and that's...
Ignore this guy. He's come through, but he's overplayed.
The fear factor of MJ was so thick.
No one has an edge over Michael Jordan in mentality. If any young player can compare, it's Anthony Edwards. Players in today's game are soft, and if you ever knew MJ, you know soft is the last word you would ever use to describe him. This man played 44 minutes through food poisoning and won. He retired and then came back to win 3 chips. You know what? His royal airness even punched his own teammate in the face. Now, obviously, Ant-Man isn't quite as intense as that. No one was. But he has his own tough mentality moments, like when he spoke against load management.
If there's anything I could change about the league to make it better, probably just all the guys sitting resting. I don't like all the sitting missing games and stuff. Like these people might have enough money to come to one game, you know what I'm saying? And that might be the game they come to and then you sitting out, you know what I'm saying? So I take pride in trying to play every game because I don't know, it might be one fan that has never seen me play and I'm trying to play, so.
You know who else hates load management?
This is not today, but in the past I talked to Michael Jordan about the concept of shortening the season to 8, from 82 games. It sickened him. He couldn't understand why in the world wouldn't players want 82 games.
Jordan breathed, bled, and would die for the game. And in this new era of basketball, only a small fraction of players share that same burning passion. Anthony Edwards has proven time and time again he is one of those select few. It's their confidence, their exaggerated swagger, the belief that they are the best, and the skill to back it up. MJ, though? GOAT was crazy. I mean, the man called himself Black Jesus. And Ant? Well, let's just say that the apple doesn't fall far from the tree.
Who's the best player in the NBA?
Me.
It's tough for young players to be great scorers. It's even tougher to have the mentality needed to be the best. But what's the toughest? Is being a leader. Michael Jordan is the best leader in NBA history. I mean, this man has wild and edgy Dennis Rodman on his team and kept him in line. Let's make a whole video on that. But Anthony Edwards isn't too far off. With just 4 years in the league, he's already the system in Minnesota and the clear leader of his team. Not just that, but around the league, he's easily one of the best young ambassadors of the game. I mean, just look at this guy's leadership when he's giving Nas Reed some advice.
When you get in there, take your time, Sat. Like when you get in there, start 1, 2. Don't be rushing. That's how you miss that layup because you're rushing.
Or the post-game interview after the Suns sweep.
He's, like I always tell you, he's the best offensive player on the team. Like, if he's not in foul trouble, it's a problem for any team that got a guard us because he can stretch the floor, he can post, he can play off the catch, he can pass. I mean, he can do everything. So we just got to keep him from getting in foul trouble, and he's going to be great every night.
Or even recently when he took accountability for the loss against the Nuggets.
That's on me. I'll take the blame for this loss. I came out with no energy at all. I came out flat, so and I can't afford to do that for my team. I let my team and my coaches down, the fans down, so I'll be ready Sunday.
Extreme ownership. That's a leader I can follow. All right. So if you still aren't convinced that Anthony Edwards is Michael Jordan's son, this last one might just be what will make you accept fate. And it's the most important factor in this debate. You know what it is? Aura. What the heck does that mean? Dictionary.com defines it as a distinctive and pervasive quality or character. In other words, air or atmosphere. Aura is the unique energy that an NBA superstar possesses and how that energy is perceived by the entire world. Confidence, charisma, swagger, influence, all of these are just factors under the umbrella of aura. To put it simply, this. This is aura. And if any player had aura, it was Michael Jordan, second to none. The pull he created was legendary, changing the way basketball was seen by the media, the league, the fans all around the world, MJ's aura coined the phrase, ball is life. Eat, sleep, breathe basketball. And in all honesty, we might never see anyone that matches it, but Ant-Man is putting up a good fight. From his disrespectful career-ending highlights to his off-the-court charisma, character, and swagger.
Where you from, Jim?
Ireland.
I like your accent. It's tough.
Oh.
I want to learn how to talk like that.
Hold on, y'all. Don't ask no questions yet. I'm trying to put an order in McDonald's.
I mean, it's pretty simple, man. At the end of the day, it's either you're going to make the shot or you're not. You're going to get the stop or you're not. So that's how I deal with it.
Anthony Edwards exudes aura. In other words, Ant is a dog. What if I told you the GOAT himself agreed?
I reached out to the GOAT today, Michael Jordan, and Jordan said there are similarities in their games. He agreed. So Jordan said there's similarities, all right?
All of this while being only 22 years old and easily having another 15 years left in the league. Biologically, we're still waiting at the lab to get the DNA samples back, but I don't think there's a relation. But in this big family we call the NBA, there's no denying it. In the words of Mari Povich, Michael,
You are the father.